Hello students, welcome to today's session. In today's session we are going to discuss the practical number 13 for the subject computer science class 11. If you didn't watch the 12 practicals in this series, I have already uploaded. So if you didn't watch those practicals, I will strongly recommend please go and watch those practicals. It will help you to understand this practical in a better way. So today we are going to discuss a very interesting problem that is related to Fibonacci series. How we need to print the Fibonacci series up to nth terms. So what we are going to discuss, we are going to discuss the problem first, and then we are going to discuss the steps to solve it, and then we are going to write the Python code, and then at last we are going to run the code in Spider editor. If you are using any other editor, it will work in that editor also, like IDLE and Jupyter and Sublime. I am using Spider and demonstrate it. Okay, I am going to demonstrate it. So let's get started without any delay. So first we are going to discuss the problem. Print the n terms of the Fibonacci series. Okay, we need to print the n terms of the Fibonacci series. So before starting the discussion, you should know what is Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series is a sequence. It is a sequence of numbers. It is a sequence of numbers in which each number is sum of last two numbers in the series. Okay, first two terms of the Fibonacci series are the fixed. First term is 0 and second term will be 1, and after that onwards every term will be the sum of the last two terms. So next term will be 3, next term will be what, it will be 1 plus 1 2, next term will be what, 1 plus 2 3, next term will be what, 2 plus 3 5, next term will be what, 3 plus 5 8, next term will be what, 8 plus 5 13, next term will be what, 13 plus 8 21, and so on. So each term, if you notice there, this starting from this one, this is the third term, of the Fibonacci theorem. First two terms, this is the first term, first two terms of the Fibonacci series are fixed. Okay, this is second term. First two terms of the Fibonacci series are fixed, and on third term onwards you will notice that each term is the sum of the previous two terms. So this term is the sum of these two numbers, this term is sum of these two numbers, this term is the sum of these two numbers, and so on. 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 3 8, 5 plus 5 13, 13 plus 8 21, and so on. So this is the Fibonacci series. It is a sequence of numbers in which each number or each term, we can say number in place of number, you may use the term also, in each term is the sum of the last two terms. Okay, this way also you can say. So this is the sequence. So what you need to do, you need to take, this is going to be the fourth term, this is going to be the fourth term, this is going to be the fifth term, this is going to be the sixth term, this is going to be the seventh term, this is going to be the eighth term, this is going to be the ninth term. So you will enter a value n, that will be the number of terms. Number of terms you will get from the user, terms, terms, number of terms you will get from the user. Let's say input, enter how many number of terms you want to print, enter how many number of terms you want to print. So this message you will print using input method, and user will enter the terms, and if user enters the value 1, then you will only print the 0. Okay, so if you enter the value of terms is 1, then you will only print 0. If terms value user enter is 2, then you will print 0 1. These are the two values that are fixed. If the user has entered the terms value is 3, then you will enter 0 1 1. If terms value user enters 4, then you are supposed to print 0 1 1 2. Okay, and if the terms value is 5 user enters, then you need to print 0 1 1 2 and 3, and so on. If user enters the terms value is 6, then you are supposed to print 0 1 1 2 3 and then 5. So this way you need to print the terms. User will enter the terms value, how many terms he want to print, and you are supposed to print all those terms of the Fibonacci series. Okay, so this is the essentially problem. Now if you notice how can you solve this problem, it is a very interesting and very simple problem. If you notice this problem, I am going to rough this portion because this portion I have already told you. Now let's try to solve this problem. So how we will solve this problem? First thing, you need to apply the loop to iterate. And what is the business logic? Business logic is what? Let's suppose n1 is the fixed term is 0, n2 second term is also fixed, that is 1. Next term onwards, what we are doing, we are adding the, to get the next term, you are adding these two terms. So how you are getting the next term? Next term you are getting using adding these two terms, 0 plus 1, then it will become the third term. Okay, and let's suppose user want to print the 5 terms, then what will happen? You need to keep on adding. So now you will change, let's suppose n1 is 0, n2 is 1, then next term will be 1 0 plus 1, this will be the third term. Now to get the fourth term, what you need to do? You need to make this next term is n2 value, and now n1 will become 1. Now what we will do, n1 value will become 1 and n2 will be replaced with this term, that is we are getting new term. So now next term will be what? Next term, next term will become n1 plus n2 again, n1 plus n2 is what this time? 1 plus 1, and this time 2, and this will become the fourth term. Now for fifth term case, what we will do? n1 equals to what we will do? n1 will be the value of the n2, so 1, and n2 will become the value of the next term. So what is the value of the next term? That is 2. So 2 will be, and if you got the next term again, then what will happen? It will n1 plus n2, and n plus n2 value is what? 1 plus 2, that will be 3. So this is going to be the fifth term. So this is how you need to build the logic, because we know what is the formula to get the next term. We need to add the last two terms to get the next term, and after adding the two terms, we need to assign this next term value to the n2 and n2's current value to the n1, so that we are keep on adding the next terms. Okay, so how this will look, I am going to rough some portion from here so that we can build the complete logic here, because understanding the logic is very important in this program. If you understand the logic, then this problem is very simple, otherwise you will be confused and you will not be able to get the answer. So what we are going to do, we are having the n1 n2 value is 0 and 1. If terms value is less than equals to 0, then simply we will say print enter positive value of term, enter positive value, because there is no term 0. Okay, positive value, like this you can say error message. And if the else case, what we need to do, we need to print, because n1 and 2 terms of the Fibonacci are fixed, 0 and 1, so you need not to worry about these. n1 and 2 and n1 and n2 are the fixed terms, and you can put this if you want. If you print n1 comma n2, then it will print without any space, and in the same line it will not be print, it will print in the different lines. So now what we need to do, either we can use for loop to iterate up to nth term we want to calculate. Let's suppose user has in the 5, then we need to calculate the Fibonacci series up to 5th term. So for that purpose you can use the for loop for I in range, because 0 and 1 and 2 terms are the fixed. First two terms 0 and 1 are the fixed. Now second onwards you need to print the terms, and then what you need to do, you need to do next term. You will calculate next term equals to what will be n1 plus n2, and you can print the next term here, print the next term next underscore term, and end equals to blank. If you pass like this, then it will be shown in the same line, otherwise new lines will be printed. And now what you will do, n1 will become the value of the n2 and n2 will become the value of the next term. This is very important, otherwise it will be not work. Okay, next term. So these two lines will keep on switching the next terms, and we are keep on adding the next term values up to the value that the user want. Okay, so this is the essentially logic. Now I am going to explain it in a detail by dry running it. Let's try. This is the complete program. Okay, now I am going to write some use case and explain how it will calculate. I already explained how actually this loop will work, because we have seen how it is going to work. Now I am going to, let's suppose user has entered the value in terms. Let's suppose user has entered the value in terms as, let's say, and terms value user has entered as 6. Let's suppose 6 term he want to print. What he want actually 0 1 1, and this will be third term, then this will be fourth term, this will be fifth term, this will be sixth term. He want like this series. Okay, so what will be the n1 value? I am creating some boxes here. N1 value is 0, because two terms of the Fibonacci series are fixed. You should remember this, and 0 and 1. Now what will happen? We will create one more variable, that is next underscore terms, because this will help you to track the get the next term. So term value is less than equals to 0. No, because terms value we have entered the 6. Now we will come here else part, and n1 and n2 will be printed. n1 in value is 0, n2 value is 1. These two will be printed. Now for loop will continue. I in range function, and you are passing the value 2 comma, and terms value is 6. So range function will return the value 2 3 4 5. So this loop will continue 4 times. Loop will continue 4 times, and first time I value will be 2. I value is not used here, so it doesn't matter. I value will be 2. Let's suppose this will be return list 2 3 4 5, because we at some point we need to stop the loop. 2 value will come, and next term will become n1 plus n2. n1 plus n2 is what? n1 plus n2. n1 value is 0. 0 plus 1, that will be the next term. Next term will become 1. So 1 will become the next term. This line executed. Now print the next term. Next term value will be printed. 1 will be printed here, because 0 1 already printed. Now 1 is almost one more value of the 1 is printed. Now n1 equals to n2. If you subsign n1 equals to n2, then n1 value is currently n1 equals to n2, then n1 will become the 1. Now 0 becomes 1, and n2 equals to next term. Next term value is what? 1. So n2 will become 1 again. Now this loop will continue. I will become 3 this time, and next term will become n1 plus n2. n1 plus n2. Now n1 plus n2 is 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 which is what? 2. Okay. Now 2 will be printed using this line. So 2 will be printed here. Now n1 equals to n2. n1 equals to n2 means n1 will become the value of the n2 will n2. So n1 will become 1, because 1 is there. So 1 will become here, and n2 equals to next term. n2 is next term means next term value is what? Next term value was updated with 2, because it was calculated here. So n2 will become 2 here. So n2 will become 2 next. Now this loop will continue. 4 will become the value of the I. Next term will become n1 plus n2. So n1 plus n2 will become what? n1 plus n2. n1 is 1, 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. So next term will become 3, next term value will become 3, and printing the next term will become 3 here, print here. And now n1 equals to n2. n1 equals to n2 means n1 equals to n2 means n1 will become 2 and n2 equals to next term value is 3. So n2 will become 3. Again loop will continue, 5 will come in the I. So next term will become next time n1 plus n2 again. So n1 value is 2, n2 value is 3, 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So your next term will become 5. So print statement will execute and you will print the 5 here. And next n1 equals to n2. n1 equals to n2 means n1 equals to n2 means n1 equals to n2 value is 3. So n1 will become 3 and n2 equals to next term. n2 next term equals to next term value is 5. So n2 become the 5. And this loop will not execute more because this loop is terminating, because we want the fifth terms, 6 terms of the Fibonacci series. So here you can see output is very similar, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. So this way it will work. You use the for loop. You may use the while loop also if you want. In case of while loop, let me show you how can you use the while loop also, so that you can get the clear understanding. While loop you can also use in this case. If you use the while loop, then what will happen, you need to maintain some separate variable, that is count variable, and if you use this count variable then you can very easily set it. Okay, so I am going to use the while. So n1 equals to 0 will again same, n2 equals to 1, count equals to 0. Initially we will have the count 0, and if terms value is less than equals to 0, then same error message we will print. Printing the error message will be enter positive value, and otherwise else if terms value is equals to 1, then you directly print the n1 because n1 is the first term. And if terms value equals to let's say 2, in that case you simply print the n2. And if else, if the user want to get the more than 3 terms, because 2 terms of the Fibonacci series are fixed, so you need not to worry about it, because you can directly print it n1 comma n2, because 2 terms are fixed. If user wants the first term, then you will simply print n1. If user want the 2 terms, then you will print n1 and 2. n1 and 2 terms are the fixed. Now if you want to print the more terms, then what you will do, you will apply the while loop here. So while loop can be applied like this. So let me show you. I am going to write the while loop here because the space is not available. So I am going to write the while loop here. So you can see here, while what you will do, count is less than equals to terms. Up to terms, what we will do, same thing we will do, next term equals to n1 plus n2, and then you will keep on printing the next term, and what you will do, n1 equals to n2 and n2 equals to next term. Same logic we are going to use after that particular case. So this is the while loop. If you want to write is while loop, remember count plus 1 equals to you need to do, and initialize the count with 2, because first 2 terms of the Fibonacci series are already fixed. So if user enter the 3, then we will come in this else part, and count value will keep on incrementing and up to the terms user want to print. Okay, same logic is there, and this logic will work very similar to the for loop we have used. We are just replacing the for loop with the while loop to track these particular terms, to control the execution of loop up to the n terms. Okay, there is nothing different in the logic is very similar. Okay, now we can go ahead and write the Python code, and we can see it and run it in the Spider editor. So I am going to write the Python code here, you can see it. So first we need to n1 equals to 0, because 2 terms of the Fibonacci series are fixed. Now you will get the terms value from the user. Terms equals to integer input, enter the terms, enter the terms you want to print. Okay, so it will print you want to print, because it is a Fibonacci program. Now you can use the for loop. and it will very simple to use the for loop. For loop it will be simple, in while loop it will be little bit difficult. So before applying the for loop, you check whether the terms value is negative. If the terms value is negative, there is no sequence defined. Terms value should be positive. Terms value is less than equals to 0, then you will print the error message. You will print enter positive value, enter positive value. I am going to write it completely, positive value. Otherwise what you will do, otherwise else what you will do, apply the for loop for I in range. Before printing the range, you will simply print the n1 comma n2, because these are the values that are fixed, for the first two terms of the Fibonacci series are fixed, 0 and 1. That's why we have printed these two terms in the else part. Okay, let me write it clearly so that you can get the clear idea. So we can write it here. Okay, if you will get confused. So we will print the n1 comma n2 and equals to blank. I am putting because I don't want to print the this series into the next line. I want to print the series in the same line. That's why I put the and. Otherwise the print statement will be keep on printing the terms in the new line, so it will be not look like that you want. So you will apply the for loop here. For I in range function you will apply, and here two terms up to terms you want to apply, going to run this loop, and then you want to get the next term. So how you will get the next term? You can get the next term using this code, next underscore term equals to n1 plus n2, and print this next term before switching. Print next term, next underscore term, and equals to blank you will put. You don't put, then the output will be like this, 0 1 1 2 3 5. If you put the and equals to blank, then output will be like this, 1 1 2 3 5 8, like this. So remember this, because new line will be inserted each time after the print execution. Now n1 will become the n2, and n2 will become the next term. Okay, and this is the logic. So this is the complete program to print the Fibonacci series up to n terms. So you will enter the terms, and this program will print the n terms of the Fibonacci series. So now we will I am going to execute this Python code in the spider. So I am roughing this from here, and I am going to execute it into the spider. So let's open the spider first. So I am opening it for your convenience. Yes, this is. So first n1 equals to 0, n2 equals to 1, and then you will terms value you will enter input integer, then you will enter input, enter the terms, of Fibonacci series you want to print. This message you can write anything you want to print. For better usability experience, I am writing that much big. And then what you need to do, you need to just check if the terms value is less than or equals to 0. Otherwise we need to print the error message, enter positive value of term, and otherwise what you can do, otherwise if term value is less than equals to 0, then nothing need to print. If term value is 0, if term value is 1, then you can print the n1 value. If term value is 2, then you can print the n2 value, n1 and n2 both value. So I am not going to write this condition. I am directly writing n1 comma n2, and equals to blank I am going to put here. Now I will apply the for loop for I in range, and two terms. Why 2? Because two terms of the Fibonacci series are already printed using n1 comma n2. This statement, two terms are already printed. That's why I have started this for loop with 2. Now next term you will calculate. Next term equals to n1 plus n2, like this, and then print the next term here. you will print and end equals to blank, okay, and then n1 equals to n2 and n2 equals to n next term. This way I have already explained why I have did it, and that's all in this. And if you more specifically want to write in this program, what would be the problem? If you enter the value of the terms as 1, then it will print the 2 Fibonacci series print, 2 Fibonacci terms. So if the value of the terms is, let's say, if you can all one more terms condition you can write, if terms equals to 1, then you print the n1 value only, n1, and end equals to blank, or otherwise you print this statement. This way it will be more, one more condition you need to put, okay. So this way you can do. And now let's try to run this. So I am going to run this. So now let's try to enter the value of the terms. First let's try negative, it should print the error. Let's try to enter -10, it should give enter error because it's positive value. Now run again and try to enter 2 here and it will print 0, 1. And now try to enter 1 here, it will print 0 because first term is 0. Now try to enter 3 here, it will print 3 terms, you see 0, 1, 1. So it is look like that space is not inserted here, that's why it is looking like 11. So let's try run again. So let's try 3 again, it will print separated, you can see here. Now try to enter 4 and you will see the 4 terms. So enter here and you will see 4 terms. Now let's try to enter 5 and see. So this way you can print any number of terms. Let's try to enter and print the 10 terms and you can see the 10 terms. Let's try to enter 20 and print the 20 terms, you can see the 20 terms. So this way you can enter and print, keep on printing and entering. Now if you want to try to solve this using the while loop, then you can also do it. So let's try to solve it using while loop. So in case of while loop, nothing will be changed, only here you need to change. So here what you need to do, you just comment this code of the for loop and you can use the while loop here to do the things. So count variable will, one more variable we need to create, count, in case if you want to solve it using the while loop, because I have initializing it with 2 because the 2 terms of the Fibonacci series are already fixed and we have printed those, that's why I am initializing it with 2, okay, not initialize with 0, 0, remember, okay. So while loop you will do it, while is very similar, count is less than terms value, up to term we want to print. So let's suppose user has entered 3 or 2 or let's say 3, then it will keep on counting up to third term, and you will write the same logic here, nothing is changed in logic will be very similar. One more condition you need to enter here, count initialization, then count increment, okay, nothing else you need to do, and this program will be working very similar. So you can try and run it. So let's try the value 1 here, 1, in case 1 it will 0, and if you want to print 2 terms, then it will print the 2 terms. If you want to print the 3 terms, then it will print the 3 terms, and if you want to print the 4 terms, it will print the 4 terms. So this way you can either use while loop or for loop, it is up to you. So you may use any of the loop of your choice or you are comfortable with. So I have shown you both the ways using for loop and while loop. So that's all in this video. If you like this video, please press on the like button and share it with your friends so that everyone gets benefited. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Till happy coding.